A shady billionaire targets young girls and makes them forget the horrible things he does with them on his private island. The movie opens with a broke woman named Frida sitting on the toilet and watching an interview, in which a shady billionaire is seen apologizing for his previous actions and admits to going off the grid and to a quiet place to get therapy. Frida searches for Slater on Google because he piques her interest. It is then her friend Jess interrupts her to remind her to buy something, but Frida has plans to spend the money elsewhere to surprise her. Following this, it's revealed that Frida and Jess work together as waitresses for an event planning firm. Frida's manager sternly orders her to do her job and avoid interacting with the visitors, particularly Slater from the previous event. It turns out their current event organizing once again happens to be for Slater's company. When Frida sees Slater, she becomes charmed and spills champagne on a guest. In the elevator, she later joins Jess and shares her surprise, two stunning outfits that they wear to blend in with the attendees. When Frida finally starts heading aimlessly towards Slater, she runs into a waiter and strikes the ground, embarrassing herself and the other person. She is fortunate to get Slater's attention right away, who lends Frida his assistance right away. By keeping her company and introducing her to his group, Slater makes Frida the luckiest girl in the event. Even his therapist, Dr. Rich, is introduced to her by Slater. He acts strangely around Frida, but she keeps it amusing by her banter, urging him to blink twice if anyone's threatened by Slater. Frida is so enchanted by Slater's charisma that she accepts his invitation to his privately owned island when Slater returns to invite her with his puppy eyes. Frida tags along Jess on Slater's private aircraft along with his other friends. Slater's assistant, Stacy, gathers everyone's phones to put them away in order to enjoy the trip without the technology. Another friend takes their picture in front of the mansion, which marks the beginning of their journey. Following this, Slater shows Frida to her room. After he departs, Frida finds a nasty lip gloss with a hair caught in it and a bottle of perfume in the bathroom. She sprays the perfume on her neck. When she walks out, she's startled to discover an Asian housemaid in her room and a dress on her bed. Frida finds it unsettling that the maid can only repeat the word "red rabbit" due to the language barrier. She joins Jess and the others at the pool, where they all continue to light their joints using Jess's lighter. Frida can't resist staring at Slater as he puffs his vape. When a girl named Sarah mounts a coconut tree to pick one and cut it open to drink, her moment is shattered. Envious, Frida nearly chokes on a fruit from her martini. Slater shows up right away to check on her, and they go for a stroll together, during which she chuckles that his vacation doesn't seem to be anything like the extravagant parties the media portrays it to be. Frida doesn't notice the sinister yet enigmatic grin on Slater's face. Frida sees the maid killing an anaconda and placing it in a sack when they are out for a walk, so Slater reveals that he gets the anacondas killed when they enter his property because they are a major problem on the island. It becomes clear from their lengthy chats that Slater is receiving therapy because he has experienced trauma that has left him unable to recall a certain aspect of his early years. When everyone gets together at the dinner table the next evening, Frida gets her white outfit stained and gets nervous, but Slater comforts her, saying it's all right. Vic, who keeps asking Frida what she does for a living, finally stops talking when Slater asks him to tell everyone about how he lost his pinky finger. Subsequently, Vic introduces a new drug, which Frida volunteers to take first. All Frida and the girls remember is having a good time all night long while high on that substance. Frida discovers her shirt stain has disappeared before turning in for the night. The next morning, Vic is interrogated about his missing finger by a girl named Heather, who's always high on dope, but Vic ignores her. Because Heather keeps borrowing Jess's lighter, she decides to write her name on it. Over the course of time, Frida has a great time with everyone on the island. One evening, Slater sits with her and compliments her nail art. He leaves early, claiming that he has to get up early for therapy. He leaves his vape behind, observing which Frida notices dirt beneath her fingernails that she can't remember how it appeared. When she returns the vape to Slater the following day, she runs into Dr. Rich as he is leaving, and when Frida says she remembers him, he becomes silently frightened. Before she leaves, Stacy gives Rich a gift bag, which Frida notices. Cody, Slater's chef friend, complains outside about his lost knife, but the girls claim not to have seen it. At night, Jess begs everyone to give back her lighter before they play music and enjoy themselves. Shortly after, Jess screams loud enough for everyone to hear her after being bitten by an anaconda. Slater immediately kills the anaconda with his beer bottle. Frida expresses worries, but Slater reassures her that Jess will be okay, even though the anaconda is venomous. When alone, Jess confides in Frida that she finds this place weird and wants to leave the island, especially after not being able to track the days and time. After getting this far, Frida begs her not to be negative and ruin her time with Slater, so Jess decides to stay since she is happy for Frida. But when Frida snoops about and discovers the Asian maid extracting anaconda poison in a shack with shelves brimming with gift bags, she doesn't remember Jess, who disappears from the island the following morning. Without disclosing the nature of the anaconda poison, the maid forces Frida to consume the poison and keeps saying "Red Rabbit," which scares Frida away. Outside, Frida runs into Cody, whose chicken got loose. Frida observes that the buddies are acting strangely at lunch. Heather has chopped off the front of her hair, and Lucas, the youngest, has a bruised eye. When Frida witnesses Heather using her lighter during the spa treatment, she thinks of Jess. None of them appear to recall Jess when she asks them where she is. Frida loses her mind, believing that she could never have envisioned a whole best friend. When she runs to her room, she finds out they've turned into a storage unit to make things look normal. Sarah arrives with Jess's lighter in Frida's room, which has her name spelled on it, as Frida has totally lost her calm. She displays to Frida an enigmatic bruise on her forearm, the source of which she cannot recall. The two sit together and discover that there has been blatant evil going on around them that they are unable to identify and link to Jess's abduction. Frida brings Sarah to the room with the present bags and discovers perfumes in each bag, recognizing that the scents are making them forget things after recalling Slater, who said that forgetting is a gift. After realizing that the anaconda poison remembered Jess, Frida forces Sarah to drink it, albeit it doesn't take effect right away. Frida makes the decision to notify the FBI of this, but Sarah reminds them that their case isn't conclusive on many grounds. Thus, they could be labeled as the eccentrics. Along with Stacy, they force the other females near the pool to drink the poison along with Stacy, who joins them later, while Frida goes to Slater's room to retrieve their cell phones. But before leaving, she asks Sarah to let her know when the boys get there. As soon as she remembers everything, Sarah is shocked, and her nose starts to bleed. In an attempt to stop Heather and Camilla from drinking the poison shots, Cody tries to surprise her from behind, and Sarah breaks his nose with her elbow. She immediately apologizes and acts as though she is not afraid. Sarah shouts the secret word repeatedly for Frida to hear. However, she ignores it and keeps smashing the enormous padlock on the cupboard until Slater also arrives. When she cracks it, she finds a box full of old photos that Vic took and her phones, but they are without cellular connection. She drops the box when she hears the code word and quickly tries to put the pictures back in the box in a rush. When she hears Slater's footsteps, she tucks the remaining photos inside her dress and quickly hides behind his desk where her nose bleeds, an indication of getting her memory back. She recalls how they were pinned to the ground and tied down when the guys killed Jess for remembering everything after the snake bite. She gets out from behind the desk, her entire world completely upended, and joins Sarah to express their feelings after learning the truth. Pretending to be cool, they choose to play along with the males by appearing content. During dinner, Sarah nearly loses her integrity when she discusses the need for women to be taught self-defense in order to shield them from the threats in their environment. Frida diverts conversation by climbing the table and dancing. Everyone begins to dance while Tom plays music, allowing Sarah to conceal a corkscrew in a flower pot. Later that evening, after regaining her memory, Camilla murders the man who wronged her, but Slater ultimately stops her. Sarah uses the corkscrew to attack Cody and battles him, as Heather remembers everything and pursues Vic. Heather uses a ceramic slab to beat Vic's face, but Slater's employee shoots her. After capturing Sarah, Slater sees Frida flee and dispatches his employee to pursue her. Frida hides in the bushes, but he tracks her down and points his gun at her. Fortunately, Sarah surprisingly shows up behind him and smashes his skull with a stone. Meanwhile, now badly hurt, and in a panic, the boys pull back. Slater kills Camilla by wringing his foot around her neck after they have tied her up. Taking the pistol, the girls retreat back into the woods. Frida discovers that she had previously been Slater's victim when she discovers a photo of herself with red bunny nails that was taken at the same location. Stacy then appears and accuses Frida of forcing her to recall everything she never desired. Cody is sent to round up the females, but Sarah shoots him dead instead, and Frida ends up stabbing Stacy in the heart with a knife in self-defense. In order to make their next move, Frida travels outside Slater's room after joining Sarah to inform her of the most recent discovery regarding the image. She cries to unlock the door while being innocent. When the boys take the bait and open the door, Sarah shoots Lucas from a distance. Unfortunately, Slater catches Frida and drags her inside. Slater utilizes his strength to control Frida when she assaults him with a table centerpiece. During this time, Frida recalls her prior visit to the island and how she bit Vic's finger during a forceful subduing. While Slater spends his time criticizing Frida for forgetting everything and defending his actions as ethically right, he dashes outside to apprehend Sarah, who is evading capture. By the time Slater brings Sarah back by her hair, Frida has already loosened herself with a piece of glass and switched out his vape flavor with the scent that makes him forget everything. He knocks himself unconscious after bumping his head. The females aggravate the situation when the place spontaneously catches fire and take the unconscious Slater outdoors for their next scheme. Frida takes over Slater in the end of the movie by continuously putting perfume in his vape, eventually wiping out his memory to become his wife, take over his company, and attend the next gala. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Thank you for being a part of Black's Movie Recaps. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Black's Movie Recap for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned, and until next time, stay captivated.